What's up survivors, my name is Cap and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another 7 Days to Die tutorial. Currently doing all of this in Alpha 14.7 on PC, so if things look a little different in future builds or if you're on a console version, just know that that could be the difference. Now what I'm going to show you in this video is another tip on how to deal with the zombies, whether it's the nightly hordes, the 5-day dog hordes that show up, or even the 7-day feral hordes that show up. This will actually help you survive a little bit for a little while. You will get to a point where it's not enough to maintain, but at least will get you a pretty good start, and it's not very hard to implement. So the first thing you need to do basically is to find a nice 3-story house like that has an attic and has a basement. And once you make your way inside, you can know if it has a basement because you can kind of just search around. Oftentimes through the kitchen, you'll find that it has a basement down below the stairwell going upstairs. If you're really having a hard time finding one, and if you're in the non-random generated world, if you head west of Dyersville, the main town where all the little suburb houses are, you'll find a barn, a cornfield surrounding it here, and this nice little farmhouse. It's a pretty good place to kind of set up shop. Okay, now that you've actually found your farmhouse, or at least something as close to it as possible, having the attic is paramount and having the basement is important there for this particular kind of tip. What you need to do is to go through and gather as much wood as you could. Basically all you're going to need for this specific kind of tutorial is going to be a stone axe, which is you easily make if you haven't found a fire axe, and a whole bunch of wood. Once you've found yourself a whole bunch of wood, what you need to do is to make a few wooden frames. I have a pretty good sized stack of them here, but you're only going to need just a couple, and I'll show you why in just a minute, but you're going to need just a few, and that's basically going to be for navigation purposes, so don't use all your wood trying to make a ton of them, but you can have as many as you need to just to get started. Alright, first things first, the very first thing you're going to make in this game is you need to make sure your house has some actual doors to it. Now in 7 Days to Die, zombies are more attracted to doors than basic walls, so if they're trying to get into a location they know you're there, they will go towards the doors, but having just a walled up house makes it a little difficult for you to get in. So make sure you have doors on the front and the back, and then after your door is crafted, you can go ahead and install it on the house, and then you can use your basic stone axe and upgrade it as far as you possibly can. If you've managed to find some scrap iron along the way, then you can go ahead and upgrade it to a reinforced scrap iron door. That'll at least help a little bit and allow you to get in and out of the house quickly and easily. You're going to have one on the front and the back door. Now doing the back door is entirely optional because oftentimes you're going to see it's boarded up anyway. That will take them a little while to build through it, but you can go ahead and put the door on here if you want to, or if you can just leave it boarded up. It's completely up to you. I like having the doors just in case I need to back out quickly. Next up, what you need to make is a whole lot of basic wooden spikes. It only takes 4 pieces of wood to make one bundle of spikes, so gather as much wood as you could and make it as many as you can, because the more you have, the more secure you're going to be. These don't have the durability that the wood log spikes do, but they do a whole lot more damage, so they're a lot easier to put a lot of them out there without having to take as many resources to actually make than the wood log spikes. So I recommend making a ton of these if you possibly can. And then once you actually have some, what you're going to do is head down into the basement. Now this isn't an area you're going to be in for very long. So what you need to do is just while you're in here, start piling in some wood spikes in and around the stairwell here. And I'll show you why here in just a minute. But load up as many as you possibly can. That way anything that comes down here is going to have as much damage done to them as possible. Now, you don't want anything getting back up once they are actually in the basement, so what I want you to do is to go through and to destroy one set of these stairs until it looks like that. Zombies can't jump in this game, nor can they climb very good except for spider zombies, so if they happen to make it to the basement and make it through all your spikes, they're not going to be able to make it up the stairs very easily. You can even take some of your wood spikes and put it down here if you want to, but just be careful because if you fall down there, you are screwed and you will die. The next bit is going to take a little while, so make sure you're not stuck out after dark trying to do this because you can end up dying here. But what you need to do is after you've made a large pallet of these wooden spikes is to make a nice little fortress all the way around your house, just as many deep as you can all the way around. Allow yourself a walking path in the front and the back, but just load up as many as you can around the house because they will break with the bigger hordes, but you can repair them pretty easily and you can replace them a lot quicker, and this will slow down so many of the zombies. Once you have the outside pretty well fortified, at least enough to get you going, and you can always add to this, the more days you have, the more time you can to put more spikes and stuff around there. This is where you're going to use a lot of your wooden frames that you made earlier from the inside here. So what you need to do, and what I recommend doing, is get your wooden frames and just stack them up around the door as much as you can here. And the reason why is because wooden frames are easy to pick back up again. You can just walk up to and press E or whatever the button is on the controller and pick them back up again. But by stacking them here, it creates a barricade that the zombies can't necessarily get through very quickly. But you can pick them up in rapid fashion if you need to get through there. But in the meantime, it stops them from being able to get through the doors and to get into the area in which you're living here. So stack in as many as you can, block off the doors, because this is always something you can pick back up as you're walking around. And after all the danger's gone, just stack them up here, because it will take them a while to bust through all of these. Okay, the next thing you need to do is similar to what you did down in the basement. You need to go ahead and chop away a section or two of the stairs. Alright, once you've chopped away a pretty good sized chunk of the floor, you can see down below where all the trap is that you set earlier. Now you're thinking, how am I supposed to get up from there? And that's where the wood frames come in. Because as I said, you can put them down, they support your weight, and then all you have to do is just pick it back up again. So you can use it as kind of a stepping stone here. It's a way to defy gravity, if you will. Any zombies that make it through all that you have set up so far is going to have a real tough time getting through the stairs. So now what you need to do is head upstairs. Go ahead and set another barricade right in front of the stairs with wooden frames, just to add to the amount of difficult times they're going to have getting through the stairs. While clearing out the house, I came across a few places where some zombies had done some damage and broke away the house, so just make sure you repair any ways that they can possibly get in besides just the front door and stuff there. Just put a wooden frame in there and upgrade it at least to the first level you have here, and that'll help stop them from getting out. Now, while you're upstairs, if you want to and you're feeling a little bit paranoid or overzealous, just go ahead and block off the door frames you have here. Once again, as long as they're just wooden frames, you're going to be able to pick them back up again, and life's going to be wonderful. So the next thing you need to do is to head up into the attic. Now when you get up here during the daytime, it's going to be just barely lit. Now I'm sure it's kind of dark in the video. I'll try and brighten it if I can so you can see what I'm doing. Once you're up here, what you need to do is use your axe again and go ahead and just chop away the top level of the stairs so that the zombies that do climb can't make it up all the way. They'll climb up a little ways and then they will, quickly fall back down. Once again, you go ahead and take your wooden frame and just barricade off the wall here so they can't get through it very easily, because they're going to have to climb the ladder and punch through all this wood at the same time. And now you're in the attic and nice and safe. If you happen to be in an attic that has more than one room to it, go ahead and bust down this wall. And then do the same thing. Take your little body inside over here, grab you some more wooden frames, and just go ahead and close off the door here. So if they do happen to make it through all they had up here, they still got to go through everything else that you've already built. And it won't let you put you in the direct door frame, just put it outside of it there. Now, you are pretty well safe. Not much is going to be able to get to you. And in the case of an emergency, things absolutely went the wrong way, it doesn't take long to bust out a window here. You can break through it just like you can a normal wall, and it'll give you a little bit of an escape route. Now, I will recommend, if you're putting a ton of spikes around your house, make sure you don't put some right underneath where your escape route is in case you need to bail. Once you have your nice little escape route, all you have to do is just, when you're ready to hide in for the night, just find you a nice little corner, go into crouch mode so you can see if you're detected or not, and just wait till morning. Now, when the day 7 horde comes in there, hiding and seeing if you're detected won't matter, because they will know where you are and they will come for you. But having everything you set up here will slow down a big chunk of the horde, and it should keep you safe, at least for the first few hordes. Now, I would highly recommend every day that you do a little bit more upgrades, add a little bit more wood spikes, and if you're feeling really overzealous, go ahead and dig yourself a trench all the way around the house. Just makes it a little bit easier to get in. And also during the day, make sure you go through and repair anything that they've destroyed while they were trying to get to you, because they'll punch holes in the walls, they'll break down doors, they'll break out the windows, and if they do enough damage to the structural integrity of the building you're in, it could collapse, so just kind of keep that in mind. If you have any questions or any comments or thoughts or whatever, do drop them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favor and drop a like on it too. In the meantime, you guys have a good one, and I will talk to you later.